Okay, well, we are looking right now at an instrument that you made right next to the stage, and we'll have to describe it to our listening audience. Okay, you describe it. It's you made this.
I call it a stamen phone, like the stamen of a flower, and the image it came from was I had a dream I was playing a musical plant. And so this is kind of like my musical flower instrument, and it's made out of a lot of recycled material. It's got a structure made out of rebar. There's a stainless steel solid bowls welded together to make a resonating chamber, and it has piano wire strings that are quite long. They're about 5 feet long. It's played with a cello bow, and the unique thing here is I am playing almost exclusively the harmonics on the string. So I'm lightly touching the harmonic nodes on the string, and that's canceling out the lower frequencies and causing the whole string to ring at a higher pitch.
You sound a little bit like not just creative guy, but science guy. And we'll have to talk about that in a little bit, because I think you were describing, somebody described the workshop that you're giving today at Northwestern as being a combination of, what was it?
Well, we've been working with a scientist from Emory University, Dr. David Lin, who's a biochemist, and we've been collaborating with him to create these joint shows together, and it's they're based in his research on the origins of life and DNA and how life got started. So it's pretty heady.
Started? Life, not love. Okay.
No, well, life or love.
Yeah, they go together.
Yeah, which came first, I wonder. So yeah, we've been working with some scientists in that way. I've always been kind of an amateur, like science of sound sort of person, very interested in the physics of sound, and creating instruments requires a kind of working knowledge of the physics of sound and how sound propagates through different materials and such. So,
well, can you give me a hint of how you could musically, artistically render what he's working with, DNA, and I mean, give me a hint.
In our show, we have a stainless steel helix, like a DNA helix, that is spins around, and we do a dance piece on the spinning stainless helix sculpture.
Does it make music or sound or no?
It has a 5-foot diameter stainless steel pan, sort of hammered out pan at the bottom of it that is strung with strings. And it's also used with some live looping technology. We use looping pedals to make looping phrases and such.
Well, Ela of Lelavision, if you could, since we're looking at this fabulous musical sculpture, could you play it so that our listeners can hear what it sounds like? And this is bowed.
Yeah, I play it with the cello bow, and like I said, I'm playing harmonics on it. And I'll give you on one string, I'll give you an example of the harmonics theories that I can get on just one string. And there's 16 strings on this instrument. So I'll give you a little demonstration of the harmonics, and then I'll play a little piece of 2 minutes or something.
Give us a couple of minutes. That'd be great. Beautiful. Beautiful. You just were listening to a demonstration of a completely unique musical instrument. I'm stumped. I just want to keep reminding people that this is a very unusual. I guess can I call you a troupe, a team? Yeah. How do you refer to yourself? A duo. Okay. At the Chicago Humanities Fest, performing for the next week, and you have lots of opportunities to go see them. But one thing that we didn't really touch on too much in what we've talked about thus far is if you just looking at the video clips on your website, it looks like it's a very, very physical. Like, looks like there's some aerial stuff, and I don't want to invoke Cirque du Soleil, but it seems like there's a lot of...
well, actually, we perform with them occasionally.
You do? So you're not offended by that comparison?
No.
Because I know a lot of people think, well, that's just spectacle, and you guys are more serious than that.
Yeah, it is spectacle, and it's corporate. But
it's corporate. But you perform with them sometimes?
Yeah.
So you're like kind of like the backup band, the warm-up group? What?
No, we would be like an act, a
really?
5-minute act, that would use one of our sculptures. Mostly we do a special event work with them. We did a big festival in Toronto last year for the opening of the waterfront, and when they bring in specialty acts, we're like one 5-minute act. Or we might bring 3 or 4 pieces, but they'll be in different locations or different parts of the show.
I had no idea they did that. I thought they sort of created their whole show from the ground up themselves. I didn't know that they took in. That's great.
No, most of their work is really sourced in other people's work that they take and assemble into their show, and then that's what it becomes. But everything, of course, is labeled Cirque du Soleil. So really, if you're performing with Cirque du Soleil, it doesn't do a lot for your career because you're Cirque du Soleil. So.
Oh, and so you don't really, you don't get your own brand that way or your own identity.
And if you spend your whole career doing that and then you stop, no one knows you from.
No one knows who you are.
Exactly.
Wow. Well, okay, Chicago now knows who you are, and hopefully by the end of the week, lots of people will be hip to what you're doing. It looks really physical, very creative, very imaginative, and I'm really looking forward to, seeing you guys next Sunday, but that's not the only performance that people can go see.
Yeah.
Anyway, I sound like a big booster, but I think you guys are just the bee's knees. And thank you so much for coming and taking the trouble to bring this big instrument and demonstrating it for us. You are listening to WLUW. This is Live from the Heartland.